Annabelle creation is a very good melange of horror tropes. If we have learned anything from the cooking channel, it's that talent is defined not by the ingredients you use, but how you use them. By that measure, director David F. Sandberg is an alchemist of the first order, taking the base, even Lenten, components of horror and whipping them into a shivery chiffon of dread. The Swedish filmmaker did it with his debut feature, Lights Out, which milked the deceptively simple yet sublimely sticky premise: the boogeyman only appears when the lights go out, for all it was worth. He has done it again, with even cheesier material, taking the cliché-filled pantry of the Devil Doll prequel Annabelle creation and turning out a dish that, while pulled together from the familiar components of the ghost story, is uncommonly, nerve-wrackingly satisfying. Mr. Sandberg's recipe mixes bits and pieces from a screenplay by Garrett Dauberman, who also wrote the much less effective Annabelle, a 2014 spin-off from the universe of The Conjuring. The 1950s set tale, which centers on orphans living in a remote house with balky electricity, a drafty dumbwaiter and an abundance of secret crawl spaces, also features a locked room, the dead child, a well, the reclusive invalid who wears a Phantom of the Opera-style half-mask and, for crying out loud, the nightmarish scarecrow. The house's proprietor is a retired doll maker, whose magnum opus is the titular, demented-looking puppet, one you wouldn't expect to see on any sane person's bookshelf, let alone in the toy aisle. 12 years after losing their daughter, Bess Hammerly, in a car accident, Sam and Esther Mullins, Anthony LaPaglia and Miranda Anto opened their home to 6 orphaned girls and a nun, Stephanie Sigmund. The youngest of the girls are sisters Linda Lulu Wilson and Janice Talladega Bateman, the latter of whom walks with a left brace and crutch as the result of polio. Mr. Sandberg makes good use of her limited mobility, as you might expect. In short order, Janice begins to see spooky apparitions, and the aforementioned doll, which she discovers in a locked room lined with pages from the Bible, just won't stay put. None of this is new, and in lesser hands it would easily become tedious. But Mr. Sandberg knows how to ratchet up suspense, composing shots filled with beautiful shadows in whose corners there always seems to be lurking something scary, a ghostly little girl, a doll that looks like the spawn of Howdy Doody and Bette Davis in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and something far more sinister. The Conjuring is a good movie. Its sequel, not so much. Annabelle, which took a small part of those films' world and expanded on it, was an uninspired first crack at injecting some life into the trope of the demon doll. It didn't work. On paper, Annabelle creation shouldn't work either. But to be fair, what horror movie doesn't sound stupid when you talk about it? Horror works, or it doesn't, in the flickering, moving images on the screen, not the page. Mr. Sandberg knows that. His artistry, for that's what it is like that of the doll maker Sam Mullins, to take inert material and create a living, breathing thing,